It is Monday, the 3rd of June, 2019, and I had hoped to continue my streak of live stream check-ins yesterday afternoon, Sunday, which is like a little beyond what I would normally do on a Sunday afternoon. It's a little more focused on work, and I apologize. I've got allergies with hay fever and an itchy eye going on. I can tell. Is it red? But so I was going to check in yesterday afternoon, and I could not get into my YouTube account, as well as another account that maybe was sort of connected to this. And it turns out that there was a massive outage of Google and associated Google Cloud yesterday, including YouTube. I'm going to show you a picture here in just a moment if I can remember how to do all what I want to do. There we go. You can see I'm in Rockford, Illinois, which is, in Illinois, in the middle of the country there. So it doesn't look like I'm affected on this map, but clearly the eastern seaboard was taken out, right? As that's pretty intense right there. It definitely impacted me as well. And so as a result of that, I was unable to check in. And at the time, I think I was going to be talking a little bit about some of the items from the church service yesterday, which included the Ascension. Now, generally, the Ascension is observed on a Thursday, 40 days after Easter, the Thursday before the week before Pentecost Sunday. But I am one of those Lutheran pastors who kind of says, it's really cool to be like authentic and all, and we should be as authentic as we should be, and the liturgy is like all about being authentic. But at a certain point, when you got 12 or 8 people coming to church on Thursday, and then your normal attendance on Sunday, and then you just never teach anybody about the Ascension, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So what I've done is we recognize or we observe Ascension Day on Sunday. So all the texts were dealing with that, and the great hope, Ephesians chapter 1, had a number of things Paul talked about that were dealing with his prayers for the church in Ephesus, that because they have faith, they would mature in the faith and grow to have a deeper wisdom and a better understanding of the revelation which Scripture has given. But at the heart of all of that, he says, what he wants all that maturing in wisdom in Scripture to lead you to is the hope of Christ's return, right? The hope that when he returns, because of him, you have a good and gracious God who desires your well-being, who has intended for this to happen, and so, as proof of the matter, has put Christ, the man, over all things, a name exalted beyond all things, and then also as your head, the head of the body, which is the church. Hey, Ninja Cell, thanks for checking in. You know what? There is a way for me to see. Are you the only one? No, there's 14 of you. Good. I don't know who you are, Ninja Cell, but you're pretty cool that you're always like, hey, I'm here. It lets me know that someone's paying attention. So that Ephesians was a big thing yesterday, and then you have that Luke Acts kind of flip thing that goes on where you read the Acts text first, and then you read the Luke text after, because we normally would read Old Testament, Epistle, and then Gospel, and there is no Old Testament during Easter. You have a bunch of first readings that usually are from the book of Acts, and so that's cool that would be before the Gospel, which gets a higher place, but the thing is, they're like inverted in terms of the timeline of the story. So you have all that going on there. You got the DEI day word. It is necessary when Jesus explains that the Scriptures teach one thing. The law, the prophets, the writings, the Psalms, it all teaches one thing, that it is necessary that the Son of Man must suffer and die. So that was in the text yesterday as well. A lot of good stuff there. So I think that's what I was going to talk about. But then, of course, this whole Google, YouTube, crash, kaboom, Eastern Seaboard. Wait, let's look at it again for those who are tuning in. Did you see? Like, kabam! That was yesterday afternoon. If you were trying to watch YouTube and having trouble or couldn't get into your Google Docs, that was that. And it got me thinking a little bit more about the podcast that I think I linked last Friday, it could have been last Saturday, of the James Altucher show interviewing, now I'm going to lose his name, a guy who's written a book called Zucked, which is about the growing tyranny of Facebook and Google and Amazon and Verizon, some of these major companies, not so much just in that they're the major companies producing all the good stuff and that's necessarily a bad thing, but that they also are using information in order to manipulate and control the environment of the market. And this isn't just about market. This isn't just about being a capitalist. This is about them, once they get to a point where they truly do have a monopoly, and they're pretty darn close right now, that they can begin to decide who gets heard and who doesn't get heard. And you almost have like a backdoor into fascism. You certainly have a backdoor into censorship. And some of right-wing politics have experienced this, say, with Twitter and Facebook this year already. Now, they're always called alt-right. Whether they are or not, I'll leave that up to you. But it's left me thinking, like, well, if they're going to make someone, go away because, the one guy made a video about Nancy Pelosi recently and then got, like, just radically doxxed by Facebook giving up his private information to news reporters who then published it publicly along with some stuff that wasn't so good that he'd done, which I get it. It was stuff he wasn't so good that he had done, but, like, that's kind of a breach of privacy, don't you think? And it was all set off by him not liking Pelosi. Well, okay, there's a lot of people who don't like Pelosi, so what's the deal there? It just got me thinking about how on this channel, there's some videos from a while back that talk about things like how same-sex marriage isn't maybe the best thing for civilization. I believe that's the title of the video, and I actually have pulled that one down for the time being. I left up the everlasting extras homosexuality question. Both of them are fine, and both of them approach the matter biblically and with what I would say heart, that is care, that is grace and gentleness, and a desire to come to an understanding of why Christians might feel a certain way about this particular form of adultery, even as we feel this way about all forms of adultery. But it also got me thinking, at what point do they go around and they find that and they just start wiping stuff out? And so, I don't know, I may put that other one back up. I want to watch it first because I don't remember making it. I remember the one I left up, I remember making, and so I'm pretty sure I know what I said. The other one I don't remember making. So I want to check that one out because the title's a little more inflammatory. So I want to check that one out. But again, it got me thinking about, what would happen if, I am putting more time now into this. We start building this thing back up again. You're watching, I'm talking, it's exciting. Bible, worldview, understanding, wisdom. We're all trying to work together to stand firm in the present age, knowing what we believe and why we believe it. And then, well, not just that YouTube goes out for an afternoon because of the Eastern Seaboard look at it, it's so crazy, look at how big that was, yeah, wow. It's not just that happens, but that this channel is kapow, actually gone. Kind of like it sort of was the last couple of years, except for reals, and just gone. All because they decided that they wanted to censor me or silence us Christians because of what we believe, whether it's about marriage or some other item or thing. And so in this, it's reminded me of something else that I've read multiple times in various business books. I enjoy business books. I shouldn't say that quite, that's not quite right. I enjoy entrepreneurial books. I enjoy books that are about how to break barriers, create new ideas, basically how to do things better, whatever that might be. I like doing things better than they're being done now for myself. And then that's kind of what I get joy out of a lot of times. Like, how do we improve something? And one of my favorite pastimes right now is to play Minecraft with my kids. And we play on a server, and it's all modded up to anything. And I spend more time rebuilding the thing I already built because I think of a new way for one pipe to go here to move stuff there. Right? Why? Because it could be better. Right? And I get joy out of that. So one of the things that I have discovered multiple times from this joy that I have in making things better, trying to improve things, trying to go forward, not backward, is that if you are in the mode of business / media / public eye / information, sales, I don't know what you would call it, if that's what you do, then the single most important thing that you have, the most important tool that you have, is your mailing list for your email. Now, every time I've read that, I'm like, ugh. And it's because I hate email. I just despise it. I remember when I first got my email, Juno, and it would go on and it would get for free, come back and then turn off. There'd be ads everywhere. Didn't even have internet, right? I remember that. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. I could talk to people and stuff. And now, it's just like the death load, right? It's like, I can't get through. There's more. What's all that? I mean, you forget what's there. So the last thing I want to do is sign up for any newsletter ever. Like when I buy something I really like, and I like the company, and it's like, do you want to get the newsletter? I'm like, no. Not a chance. And I still get signed up for like 3 to 5 every, 2 weeks or so. And then as soon as they come in, it's like, scroll to the bottom, unsubscribe, get out of here. I don't care. I'll find you when I want you. So that's me. That's actually my opinion. So this next pitch is a little challenging for me because I would not sign up for this. But if you want to make sure that you know where whatever I do next is, if YouTube or Google decides to just destroy this thing at some point, right? Or us, right? You want to follow Bible teaching online when we have to be maybe more underground than we are right now, or we just can't make use of certain tools and we can't buy and sell because they won't let us. Yeah. Maybe you should sign up for that newsletter. Yeah. And I will put that link in the show notes. Of course, after this is over, this is all live right now. After this is over, it'll take me at least 5 to 10 minutes to get the show notes put together, but the link will be there to the newsletter. It was the old best use newsletter. I'm going to convert that. If you were on that, you don't need to do it again. It's going to be renamed something, probably just Rev Fisk has a boring newsletter or something like that. Okay. And I don't even know if I'm going to use it right away, right? It's just too much time to put together. I don't know how Wolfmueller does this Wednesday wandering, wassailing, what to be what's not stuff. I don't know how he does it every week. I know he's got people working for him, like he's got monkeys everywhere doing stuff for him. And the last thing I want to do is try to imitate him. But the point being, like, if you want to know where I am and what's going on, just in case, you might want to sign up for this newsletter emailing list. So there's that. Right, if Google turns off the spigot, did all that. I gotta say thank you to, I don't know who this was. Oh, I do know who this was. You did put your name on it. I thought you were anonymous. My friend, I know this guy personally, Spencer Hash, good guy. He sent me a little note, and he listens to Sharper Iron on Worldwide KFUO, which I'm still doing for another month here. And Pastor Harrison Goodman, who I believe just got a call to his congregation, was my guest on Friday, and Goodman's good. He's a really good guest. Try to get him on here at some point once I get the Skype thing all working and whatnot. And it says, heard you giving our new pastor, Goodman, a hard time about I should mention they're at a church in San Antonio, about the Spurs. So I thought I'd send you a little something. Enjoy, Spencer Hash. Now, just fair disclosure here. I don't care who you are. I'm a Blazers fan, right? I'm a Blazers fan. You're like, what? Blazers? Why? Because I grew up in Portland in the 90s. That's why. And if you did and you were a boy, you're a Blazers fan today. Like, it's just it. That's just it, right? The same way if you grew up in San Antonio, you're a Blazers, or you're a Spurs fan. If you grew up in Golden State, you're probably a Warriors fan regardless. If you grew up in Detroit, you might be a Tigers fan. If you grew up in Chicago, you probably became a Cubs fan recently. But I'm a Blazers fan. So, and the Blazers are in the same division as the Spurs, and they're both small market teams, which means they kind of vie for the same status even when they're doing well. But the Spurs have had a history of being a little more successful than the Blazers. Blazers haven't been terrible. It's not like they're the Clippers or something, right? But, which you can still say that, amazingly, even after the run they had the last couple of years. But they're rivals. Okay, so then here's what I got in the mail from Spencer. Now, the amazing thing about this, it's a nice shirt, by the way. I probably will wear this, although not out in public. No. The amazing thing about this is I am in a position right now. I mentioned on my podcast, I've been trying to lose weight. I have been able to lose weight. I had lost some weight, and so I'm about 10 pounds from where I want to be. And that makes me also about 10 pounds from where the shirts that I currently own want me to be, which means I really need to go from mediums to larges. I just have to accept it, I think, at this point. And all I have is mediums. And then today, in the mail, what do you know? I got a large shirt, which is kind of nice. And it's very comfortable. But it does have this, like, blasphemous stuff on it. It's a nice shirt, though. It's a good shirt. So thank you for that, Spencer. I really appreciate that. Hat tip out to you there. That's what I got for today. This is already longer than about much of anything I can do. I wonder if I title it something like Google Fascism boycotts homosexuality. I wonder how fast it'd get taken down, right? But let's see if we can get another topic out of the titles here, right? Ascension is uplifting. Oh, that reminds me of something I have to share. If you don't know this, you got to know this. That's terrible, by the way, Ninja Cell. We'll even put it up here while I'm talking about it. It's borderline blasphemy what we just did. Honestly, it's pretty bad. Did you know that in the great, what would I call it? The great nation of Japan, where they speak this language called Japanese, which is pretty cool, really. I know a few words. I don't know this word. I don't know the word for pun in Japanese. I should memorize the sounds. I have the sounds for "you're welcome" memorized. It's "doya toshitomoshite." Right? And everyone knows thank you. It's konnichiwa, right? You should know that. But "you're welcome" is "doya toshitomoshite." And I was taught that by a bartender when I was like 20, or I might have been 21. I was working at a restaurant, and the bartender there named Jamie taught me, you know how you remember to say "you're welcome" in Japanese? You say, "don't you touch the mustache." Doya toshitomoshite. Right? And boom, there it is. I can say "you're welcome" in Japanese. I don't know how to say pun, but I do know that when you hear it in Japanese, the words are not like the sound pun would be to our ears. There's actually two normal words pushed together. Father's joke. Right? So we talk about puns, they talk about father's jokes. And that's what you just made into cell, and we got to make that go away because that was truly, truly awful. The Japanese are better than we are by far, just for that point. Good evening, Rachel. I'll be going away here soon, but just checking the comments to see if any of you threw anything out there. Listening on the way home from the grocery store. Listening live to YouTube. How do you got a data plan? Dalsum. That can't be your first name, right? I don't think it is, right? And Ninja Cell's writing in Japanese. Look at that. Oh, that's pretty sweet. I don't even know what you just did there. Is that it? Is that pun? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, cool. Well, hey, we're back on track. Yesterday was a blip. I was going to be on, but I wasn't because Google. And just in case Google does it again, check out that newsletter, link below. Consider signing up for that. Whether or not I use it will still be determined over the next couple of months, but I will use it if it's the case that we have to move this show to some other format because of, fascism, stuff like that, right? So, yeah, we'll catch you tomorrow. Rock on.